What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the After the Game podcast. We're back after a little break. Today we're going to be discussing the best 11 of the Premier League so far and maybe looking for future predictions for the best 11 at the end of the season. So we're here with Kai and myself, Max, and we're just going to go back and forth between our positions. You're going to go with a 4-4-2.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with a 4-4-2 as well. Formations. So we'll start off with the goalkeeper right away. Who do you got?
Okay, so just to keep in mind before we start this has nothing to do with the future, with the past, how they've done in previous seasons, their contract, anything like that. This just has to do with how they're playing right now. So for goalkeeper, I want to ask you, who would you prefer to have, Alisson or Ederson?
Alisson, Ederson. So I guess they've been kind of even since they came into the Premier League 3 or 4 years ago. Right now, I think after yesterday's game I've watched, I think I got to take Alisson. I see. I feel like Ederson makes more mistakes. But yeah, Alisson just I think provides more of a. You can see last year he scored a goal, and now he's got an assist. Yeah. So he gets into the game. I don't see Ederson doing great passes like he does. But yeah, they're both really good at saving the ball. But I just feel like Alisson gets more involved. How about you?
Personally, I'd have to say Alisson because I feel like Ederson is so he's so saved by his defense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd say Man City's defense is probably better than Liverpool's. Which is a bit of a hot take, but the problem is that when they do get past when whoever does get past the defense, Alisson isn't always there to stop, or Ederson isn't always there to stop it, but Alisson is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd have to go Alisson.
Okay. Is Alisson your best goalkeeper?
I don't know. I think I'd have to go De Gea right now. Yeah. I think De Gea has, and you know, I'd even say Ramsdale's been better.
Those are mine too.
Your two goalkeepers.
Yeah, okay. I also threw in Saw from Wolves. He'd probably be my third favorite.
Really?
This year, because he definitely does not have the best defense. Actually, he probably has a similar defense to Man United because they're both not great.
Yeah, that's right.
He's played really well this season, made some great saves.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd say it's Ramsdale or De Gea for sure.
Okay. For that pick, then I would probably have to go De Gea. Ramsdale's probably maybe he's better to watch because he really likes to make those show-stopping
but he does make
dives.
some mistakes. You'll notice, he'll go out and try and get the ball and he'll miss it and it will go off for a corner or something.
I think the other thing to keep in mind is the defense. You know, I'd say Arsenal's defense is better than United. Yeah. So I think when it really comes down to it, De Gea is the man you want in charge of the net.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll both take De Gea there.
Okay.
I'll take Ramsdale as number 2. So we'll take him as a backup.
All right. Now on to defense. Who do you have in defense?
So should we start at center backs then?
Sure. Let's do that.
Okay. We'll do center backs first. So there's a lot of big center backs like Van Dijk, Diaz, Rudiger. So
if I can ask you, actually,
sure.
My center back's choice is Diaz or Rudiger. That's what I want to ask you.
Well, you're gonna choose two of them, or just debate between those two.
Yeah. So tell me, who would you rather on your team, Diaz or Rudiger?
I think I have to go Rudiger. Maybe Diaz offers more defensive abilities, but I feel like Rudiger changes the game.
Yeah, he really goes out for the corners as well, and he scores a lot.
Yeah, and he's I think was it the game against Everton? He saved that game. I think he got a penalty. It might have been another team, but yeah, he's just not a classic center back. I feel like he just changes the game, and he's got a great personality for the game.
That's right.
So I'd take him, but Ruben Diaz is still really good.
Yeah, I'd probably take Rudiger as well.
Yeah, but he's probably gonna be leaving this summer, so that's kind of unfortunate because I like seeing him in the Premier League, and even though it's on Chelsea, but it'll be interesting to see what happens with Chelsea because Thiago Silva is 37 or 38 as well. So he's one of my honorable mentions here.
Okay, so then let's go on to that.
He's also been on corners. Him and Rudiger are probably the best two center backs on corners in the whole league. I'd say.
Yeah, because they're so big and they know how to get their head in there.
Yeah. They just, I don't know. Whoever is the corner coach for Chelsea must love it having those two guys.
Yeah, United needs to hire him.
Yeah. So they're just really good. They're deadly in the box and they're also deadly defensively.
That's right.
But if I had to choose two center backs for my best 11, I'm going to go Rudiger and Ben White.
Rudiger and Ben White.
Ben White, yes. I know Van Dijk has played really well this season and Ruben Diaz, but I just think Ben White has exceeded all expectations.
Okay.
And he's also I think he's worth more than the 50 million price point that he was bought for.
More.
He's still young. I think he's only 23 or 24.
Okay.
And he's similar to Rudiger. I'd say not as good, but he also offers that kind of offensive ability. A couple times you'll see him take the ball off a guy and he'll bring it up himself. Like a guy like Ruben Diaz or Van Dijk, he probably doesn't do that.
Okay. So on to my next center back question I have for you. This is going to be a bit of an interesting question. I know I hinted at it at the start, but I want to ask you who you would rather. Would you rather Harry Maguire or any defenseman on Norwich?
Oh,
any defense.
To be honest, I don't even know the center backs on Norwich.
I don't think I could name one either. But Harry Maguire is so ridiculously dog shit that I have to ask you.
He just makes so many mistakes. But I feel like on Harry Maguire's good days, he's a good defender.
He did score today. That's right, and he did do well for England.
But here's
my thing with Norwich. They're just not skilled. They don't make mistakes.
Exactly, yeah.
You know? We don't expect them to do crazy things.
Yeah.
But as an 80 million captain for Manchester United, I do expect the fridge to be pulling some weight.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. So they've got Grant Hanley, Brandon Williams, who's on loan from United, Christopher Zimmerman. I don't even know these guys. I'm sorry to the Norwich fans, but I just haven't watched enough Norwich this year to actually care about them. So
I gotta ask you.
I gotta take Maguire, I guess. I feel like Maguire also gets highlighted for his mistakes.
Yeah.
When he doesn't make a mistake or when he does something good, that doesn't get shown. But when he makes a mistake, it does.
Okay.
But he does make a lot of mistakes.
He does make a lot.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to I'll take Maguire.
Okay.
Screw it.
Right.
If I'm not paying the 80 million.
Yeah.
If I got him for free, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, should we move on to the left backs maybe?
Left back, sure.
I assume we both have the same one. Who do you have? Or do you have
to compare? I have two to compare.
Okay, I only chose one. So
you only find Cancelo.
Yeah.
All right, maybe you can compare to the right backs.
Sure.
But for my question I have for you, actually on the same team right now, in a bit of a debate, would you rather Luke Shaw or Alex Telles?
Okay, so this is kind of what's happening right now at United
because it is a debate between the fullbacks. Who do you play? Do you play Luke Shaw?
Same on the other side
Telles,
as well,
or Wan-Bissaka and Diogo Dalot?
Yeah, so you got the two English guys. Or you got the two foreign guys. I think I got to take Telles right now.
Okay.
Luke Shaw was really good at the Euros.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he just kind of fallen off. I don't know why. He'll probably have a better season next year. Maybe he's just tired from playing all these games.
Yeah.
And all the pressure's on him.
He did grab an assist today, actually. He did assist Maguire, but yeah.
Yeah, but I think I would go Telles. Mm-hmm. I think Telles is just kind of more creative.
Yeah, I also think he might be essential to the build-up against Atletico because he does seem to play pretty well in the Champions League. I don't know if you saw the goal that he scored.
I was watching that. That was one of the best goals I've seen so far this season.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Oh, that was a corner goal. So,
no, that was a set piece, but that was Champions League.
Oh, okay. And yeah, I think it was a free kick from the side.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of the best plays I think I've seen this season.
Yeah.
So yeah, good for him. And I like his play.
Yeah.
I don't know where he came from or when they got him, but he's just kind of been around United.
Mm-hmm.
I think they got him maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now I'm taking him over Luke Shaw.
Right.
So how about I ask you, Bissaka or Dalot?
Bissaka or Dalot?
Because Bissaka has not been played at all this season. Since Rangnick came in, I haven't seen him.
I think he's a great defenseman.
Yeah.
But as a fullback or someone pushing up, he's not very good.
He's kind of like the opposite of Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah. So I think what I'd have to say is I'd actually have to pick Wan-Bissaka.
Okay.
Because he's pretty good, but the thing is that like if United can start accessing Jadon Sancho properly and playing him on the right mid, which is the ideal situation, like Jadon Sancho is another person who pushes forward, and so is Dalot. Dalot pushes forward. So I don't entirely think we need someone to push forward with Sancho. The thing is that guys are going to get around Sancho because he's small and quick, and he's not the best defender I've ever seen.
No.
So I think I'd have to say Wan-Bissaka.
Sure, yeah. I was thinking the same thing. I think Bissaka hasn't had enough chances to prove himself. I feel like he has one bad game, and then he's on the bench for like 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll take Wan-Bissaka as well. But Dalot hasn't been bad at all this year. He's been a solid fullback.
Yeah. Okay, so, let's move on to right backs now. I know we just named them, but I think you have some
we'll both
right
agree
backs.
for Cancelo then for the best 11, I guess. Yeah, I feel like that one just is kind of boring, so we can have a little discussion.
Yeah, he's probably been the best defender this season.
And offensively, he's been really good.
Yeah, he's a great player.
So moving on to right back, I've got two options. One is kind of an honorable mention, but I was going to ask you, do you think Tomiyasu has a chance of getting a best 11 in the next couple years? From what you've seen this year.
This season, he's gone too far under the radar. He just hasn't done enough for me, and I haven't heard his name enough. I don't know too much about him.
He has been injured a little bit, so he's just came back.
Okay.
He'll probably be playing on Thursday against Wolves.
Okay.
But yeah, he has missed a lot of games. But from what I've seen, I wouldn't put him in the starting 11, but he'd definitely be on my bench for best team of the year.
Okay.
So I'd put him as the second best right back behind Trent.
Wow. Okay.
So who do you have for your best?
All right, so for my best, I think it's pretty obvious it should be Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah.
But for right back, I want to compare two random players. I want to say back to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Would you prefer him or Kyle Walker?
I'm taking Kyle Walker.
Yeah?
Yeah. I just think Kyle Walker, even though he got out-jumped by Harry Kane for that goal the other day, which was unfortunate.
Yeah. Now this is actually another logical question because we compare players like Diaz and Rudiger, right?
Yeah.
But then back to the Sean Telles thing, they're actually playing on the same team. And so next year at the World Cup, Kyle Walker or Wan-Bissaka will be up for the right back position.
And Trent as well.
Oh, yeah. He's got to be there.
He's going to be in it, but I would honestly like him to... I'd like to see him as a right wing back.
Yeah.
And then maybe... Kyle Walker as the right center back.
Okay.
If there's three, but that could be another video. We could be predicting World Cup teams.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, right now you're asking Wan-Bissaka or Kyle Walker.
Yeah.
I gotta take Kyle Walker.
Okay.
I just feel like he's too consistent.
Yeah.
He's always really good, and he's not great offensively, but you can
pretty
see
quick.
him. You can see him get up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he offers that kind of capability of just running around the wing.
Yeah.
With overlap, which I like watching. That's a style of play I really like.
Okay.
You'll see that with Tomiyasu a lot. He likes to get down the field.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like Wan-Bissaka, he doesn't really do that much.
Okay.
But yeah, I gotta take Kyle Walker.
Nice. Okay, yeah, I'd probably go for him as well. I don't see a lot of City's problems coming from the left wing, so
yeah.
But
maybe in a couple of years we could see more of a competition.
Yeah.
So I'd say for World Cup 2026, that right back spot is going to be very interesting because we could see maybe there's another guy on Nottingham Forest, Daniel Jebison. Oh no, actually I've screwed up the name. That was a totally different guy. Screw that. No, his name's Jed Spence. Sorry.
Okay.
He's really good, but look him up. I think it's DJED Spence. I watched him play Arsenal as Nottingham Forest beat Arsenal, and he was the best player out there.
Yeah, it's Jed Spence.
Yeah.
Spelled D-G-E-D.
Okay, so I've screwed that up totally.
Right. Good try.
Yeah, but that guy, he's one to watch out for the right back position.
Okay. Interesting.
So yeah, but he's definitely not in the best 11 because he's not even in the Premier League right now. But I'd love to see him get into a Premier League team.
Right.
But yeah, back on topic. Right back, I think we'll agree for Trent there. And who would you put as your second option? I'd take Tomiyasu. You take Wan-Bissaka maybe.
Second option for the World Cup or for
just for best 11.
Because
I feel like there hasn't been that outstanding
right back.
Like Mency is Kyle Walker, but he's been kind of quiet on Liverpool.
Who plays on Chelsea?
Chelsea, is it Azpilicueta sometimes plays on the right back?
He's pretty underrated.
Yeah, but he's very defensively because they do three at the back and he plays on the right side because they have such a boring style of play.
Yeah. Actually no. I'm gonna give it to Kieran Trippier. Okay. I'm gonna give second spot the second best right back right now.
That's a hot
give
take.
It to Kieran Trippier.
Even though he just broke his foot, which is unfortunate.
Did he?
Yeah, he's out. I think not broken, but he's like sprained a bone or something. So he's out for a month.
Hopefully he can have.
But
I think by the end of the season
he's made an instant impact into that team.
Yeah.
Another English right back. Like how many of these guys are there?
There's so many of them.
And he scored I think 2 or 3 free kick goals in like 2 or 3 games.
Just crazy, especially for a right back.
Yeah, he's just got such a good shot. Yeah, he's one to talk about for sure.
Okay. But now let's move on to the midfield. So I'm going to start on the left. I'm going to go to center and then finish on the right.
Sounds good.
So left mid. Would you rather on your team Son or Sterling?
That's a tough question. They played each
that's
other
probably
yesterday.
one of the biggest comparisons I have. The tightest.
Sterling has been great for the past 5 years. But as an Arsenal fan, I hate to say this, but I think I gotta take Son.
Yeah.
I think Son is the best player on Spurs. I think I'd rather buy him for my team than Harry Kane, because he's younger, and I think he offers. I think he's he's probably the top 5 left winger in football right now, I'd say. And I'd say he could be playing for Barcelona or Real Madrid, someone like a top tier team. Maybe not Barcelona as a top tier team, but I'd say in the future he's going to be on a team like Man City, Real Madrid.
I'd like to see
Munich.
him with Vinicius.
That would be great.
Yeah, that'd be pretty great.
That's a good debate. We could do a World 11 maybe next video.
Okay.
But yeah, right now I think I'd take Son. How about you?
Yeah, Sterling seems to be that one player that when he doesn't often show up, but when he does, it is a hat trick. So it's like he'll go on a 6-game goal drought and then he'll score a hat trick.
He stays quiet and then he'll get into the right spot and he'll get the tap in goal. Yeah. But Son, I feel like he offers that more play around the field.
It's more consistency as well, which is what I'd be looking for in a player.
He's on a worse team.
He is,
even though they
just
lost.
He's carrying. So yeah, I definitely have to say Son. I
think he got 2 assists against Man City yesterday. But yeah, I take Son. I think they're both actually really young. I think Sterling's only 27.
Is he?
If you could look that up,
because
he's been around for so long. But I feel like he's just always there, and he's still young.
Son is 29.
Okay.
And Sterling is 27. So they're relatively the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see.
I'd say they're both in their prime right now.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough.
But yeah, they're very even. Both are really good.
But I'm just gonna give Son the nod.
Me too. I'm gonna take Son because I feel like if you put Son in that City team, he provides more than Sterling.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So
now let's hear your left mids.
For my left mids, I put Sterling or Son. But I also put Smith Rowe as an honorable mention. He's kind of been playing that left mid, left wing. He can even play in the middle. He's played it a couple times.
Okay.
But right now, he scored yesterday. He's the leading. Actually, he's the second leading goal scorer in English players, just behind Sterling. Sterling has 10. Smith Rowe has 9 for Premier League goals. I think he's got 10 total this year.
I'm gonna go ahead and jump the gun, and I'm just gonna straight up say Smith Rowe over Sterling.
Okay.
I think he's younger, and I said not to compare age, but I like it when a player is younger and he is more exciting.
Because no one saw him coming into this team and scoring 10 goals at least.
Yeah, and especially to come off the bench and do it a lot. And he is kind of switching around Arsenal. I think at the start of the season, a lot of us really thought Arsenal was just going to finish 8th.
They're going to take a while to get back into it.
But him and Saka have really changed the team.
Yeah, and I'm just praying they don't leave anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
Yeah. But yeah, they've carried the team. We'll get that onto the right wing in a minute. But I just put Smith Rowe or Sterling. But I'd be happy to take both for my team.
Okay.
But yeah, Smith Rowe has been really good this season. But,
yeah.
But yeah, so should we move on to the center mids? So should we choose 2 each?
Okay. We'll do 2 pairings each. So for my first pairing, I have to ask you, would you rather Paul Pogba or Gundogan?
That's tough this year.
Yeah. Last year, I think there's no debate. It's Gundogan because he was arguably second best in the Premier League.
Did he get Player of the Season or something? He got a single award.
Yeah. But he did nonetheless. He did great, and he was probably the best center mid that year. So
yeah. But this year he's not starting. I don't see him start that often.
No, that's the problem with Man
City. It's been Bernardo Silva and Rodri, and a couple other guys. I forget because City has so many damn players.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gundogan always seems to come on to fill a kind of defensive role.
Yeah.
You see him. I think he came on for when they're up against Arsenal,
That's right.
or when it was 1-1 and Arsenal had a red card. They bring him on for to hold the midfield. But yeah, I take Pogba right now.
Okay, I think I would too. I think just that Pogba had a red card and was injured, but if you look at the assists, especially if you look at the top 5 players with assists, Pogba is up there and he has no reason to be up there. Yeah, I just think that like Pogba has no reason to be up in the top 5 assists because he's missed so much of the season, you know, and with a red card and an injury, there's no reason he should be up with Salah and who else is in there. I think Trent is there
for assists.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, but he's in there, and it's just crazy. And I hope maybe he can break top 2, maybe even be the number one assister.
You never know. I'd say Man United is in their best form at the moment. Maybe just passing to
Bruno and Ronaldo
Bruno,
and
Sancho. That's easy assists there. That's like it's almost free assists. So
that's right.
Yeah, I'd take Pogba over Gundogan.
I think I'd take him as well.
Yeah. So moving on. I wanted to ask this question: How much would you pay for Declan Rice on your team?
100 million.
He is arguably on my best 11.
Yeah.
Right now. And there's been rumors, of course, with Man United, so I was wondering what you were thinking.
I'd take 100 million.
100 million.
Yep.
So that's 30 million more than Sancho. But
the thing
I
think
that he's worth that too.
The thing is that I feel like a lot of the times people are gonna get pissed off that you're spending 100 million on a center defensive mid, but he's really keeping.
He would change.
Not Tottenham, but West Ham.
Yeah,
he's keeping West Ham together. He's the glue that I've called him the glue so many times on this podcast because he just keeps everything together. And I feel like he's not going to score a goal. He's not going to get an assist, but that doesn't matter. Center defensive mids are exactly what United need right now. And I would gladly pay 100 million for him. And, United are capable of that as well.
I would too, because we could probably see Pogba move out this season.
Yeah.
So they're going to have some spots in the midfield where they're going to need new players.
Yeah.
But yeah, Declan Rice, I put him in my best 11. I had a debate with about 3, 4, 5 players here.
Okay.
So I'm going to name you 1, 2, 3, 5 players, and can you choose your top 2?
Top 2.
For your best 11 this season.
Okay.
So my top 5 were Gallagher, who's played very underrated this year.
Okay.
Kevin De Bruyne, Declan Rice, Bernardo Silva, or Kovacic, which I thought Kovacic was having an underrated season. I wouldn't expect you to pick him. I wouldn't pick him as my top 2, but I just threw him in there because I feel like he's been pretty solid this year.
Okay.
So you have to choose 2 for. Let's just say 2 for your Man United.
I could rank 5 of those. Does that sound good?
Go for it. Yeah.
All right. So last place, I'm gonna have to give it to Kovacic.
Okay.
I think he's done all right, but he's a sub and he doesn't play every game. And he's
Yep.
He's not on the level of some of the other guys in that list. Number 4, I'm gonna have to give it to Conor Gallagher.
Okay.
He's young, he's on loan, and he's doing a great job with Crystal Palace. But if he was in the Chelsea team, he wouldn't be doing what he's doing,
He probably would. I'd say Kovacic would start over him.
Yeah.
Even though arguably
he's young and he's got time, but now is just not the time.
I'd like to see him stay at Crystal Palace because
give him another season or 2. It's like Jesse Lingard. Jesse Lingard should have stayed at West Ham.
Yeah. Because I feel like they could ruin his progress as a player if he just sits on the bench.
Exactly.
But yeah, moving on to 3rd.
Okay, 3rd.
So you got Bernardo Silva, Declan
I'm going to
Rice,
give it to Kevin De Bruyne.
Okay, this season, right?
Yes, because I'm not really the biggest fan of Kevin De Bruyne. I think he's probably one of the most overrated players to ever play soccer. I think he's pretty,
that's a hot take.
He's pretty great, but like I think on FIFA last season they gave him like a 98 and he was injured for half the season. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like he's didn't even play,
Yeah.
But the point is that he's just like he really does score some amazing goals. He doesn't score bad goals or tap-ins or anything like that. It's always like thumpers from 25 yards out.
Yeah.
But point is, I'd have to give him 3rd because these other 2 guys have just been phenomenal. Bernardo Silva, he's kind of stopped a little bit. From where he was, because that's just how Man City operates. You can only do well for so long on Man City. But then I'd have to give my number 1 spot to Declan Rice. I mean, I literally just gave my reasoning why, but I'm going to have to give it to Declan Rice as number 1 best center midfielder in the Premier League this season.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So for my 2, if I just choose 2 for best 11, right now I think I'm taking Conor Gallagher and Declan Rice.
Okay.
2 English midfielders. So I guess what we've talked about on this podcast is England's going to have a good team in the next few years.
Yeah.
The
problem is they just can't bottle the World Cup. They just have to really choose a team that's going to work well together.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, right now I'm taking Gallagher and Declan Rice. Maybe at Man United, who would you take right now? Would you? I assume you take like Declan Rice.
Yeah.
I'd say Conor Gallagher is more of a attacking midfielder.
Yeah, but he'll just be like a new and improved version of Scott McTominay. All right, now I'm gonna move on to my last center mid pairing. I want to ask you. I think I already know your response from what you just said, but Madison or Declan Rice. I think there's no contest.
I think
there.
I'd take Declan Rice. They kind of play different positions.
It's more attacking and more defensive, but you know.
Because Arsenal were actually rumored to get Madison this year. They didn't.
That's a shame, actually.
Yeah,
He's been pretty underrated.
They chose Odegaard instead, which I honestly would take Odegaard over him.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I gotta take Declan Rice. Declan Rice. They just they're a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
But Declan Rice has just been more special this year.
Okay.
Leicester's been actually really disappointing this year.
Yeah.
They just
but
lost to
Madison
Wolves.
has probably been their
best player. Yeah,
I
I'd
think
say so. But still, yeah, I gotta take Declan Rice.
Okay. Now I want to ask you right mid.
Alright.
Mahrez or Saka?
That's a tough question. Definitely two different styles of play. But right now, I gotta take Saka.
Okay.
Saka offers. He scored another great goal again yesterday against Brentford. Mahrez might have more goals, but I think.
But I feel like a lot of them are penalties, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I think 3 or 4 have been penalties.
Taker.
Yeah, he's a very good penalty taker, though.
Yeah.
So I credit to him for scoring those.
Yeah. So he's got 8 right now.
Okay, I think Saka has 7.
Saka has 7, yeah. So it's pretty neck and neck, especially for Saka, doesn't take penalties, and he is on the worst team, so yeah.
Yeah. He scored against City, which was good, and Mahrez scored the penalty against Arsenal.
Yeah.
So I guess you can say it right there. Like right now I have to take Saka on my team. I know don't want to judge like the future and stuff, but he's going to be better for more time, I think.
Okay.
Mahrez is, I feel like, slowing down. I don't think he's in his. He might be in his prime right now.
I think Leicester was his prime.
Yeah.
I think Leicester's his
and
prime.
maybe like 2 years ago, but he's slowing down a little bit.
Okay.
He's not a bad player at all. He's probably a top 3-4 right winger in the league. But
Yeah,
I didn't put him as an honorable mention. I put Saka.
Yeah. And now I think best right winger is there's no debate. It's Mohamed Salah.
Yeah. So we'll just put him there. We'll agree on that. But I would ask you this. Would you take right now Saka or Jared Bowen?
Jared Bowen, 100%. I think that guy's amazing. Everything he does, he just always seems to score a goal.
Yeah,
and he
just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, he it's like Declan Rice is the build-up for West Ham, and Jared Bowen is the finisher for West Ham.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's end of it. I would 100% say Bowen. How about you?
For me, I have to take Saka, but they're very even.
Yeah.
I'd say if Bowen was on Arsenal, he'd be doing similar things to Saka right now.
Yeah.
And I'm another 2 English players. Like this.
Same with Madison and Rice. Like if I look at the players I named today, I named
almost
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players that are English.
And we're not from England, so we're not being like biased here. I know I'm wearing an England jersey. I'm a fan of England, but like I don't really.
No,
I'm
it's
not
just
like gonna fight for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we'll go over our best 11 at the end. But yeah, we've just named a lot of English players so far.
So now let's move on to the last 2. We got strikers.
Okay.
So these are 2 strikers that have been pretty disappointing this season. Do you want to go ahead and guess who I'm going to say?
Disappointing?
Yeah, disappointing strikers. 2 of them.
I'm going to say Lacazette. I'm assuming he's not on your list, is he?
No.
Okay. For me, he's disappointing just because I'm an Arsenal fan.
Okay.
And I just feel like I can't wait till we get someone new.
Okay.
Next, I don't want to say Ronaldo.
No.
He has been disappointing all season. He's been disappointing the last couple games.
Okay.
But he's not. He's kind of carried their team a little bit this year.
So my picks are actually Harry Kane and Romelu Lukaku.
Okay, yeah.
Who are arguably the biggest disappointments
probably
in the league. Not in the world, because I'd probably say Messi is the biggest disappointment. Yeah. And I know there's going to be guys getting on my ass for that, but come on. He's got 1 goal.
If Harry Kane was in league, he'd have 20 goals. So.
Yeah. So Kane or Lukaku?
Who's the biggest disappointment, or who would I take?
Who would you rather?
I think I'm gonna take Harry Kane.
Okay.
Lukaku right now, he just does not look like the same player he was last season.
I just don't think he cares.
Yeah.
Which is honestly kind of the same as Harry Kane, but I feel like if you put him on a proper team, and a proper team, Spurs aren't a proper team, but if he did actually make that move to Man City, like we are talking, I think there's a chance that Liverpool stuns everyone and they could win the league.
Yeah.
But there's just no chance if Kane is on Man City.
Yeah.
So I think I'd probably take Kane.
I'd take Kane too. I think Lukaku's been one of the biggest disappointments this year. For how much was he? Like 90 million?
Something crazy.
Yeah, he's the most expensive player of the last summer.
Yeah.
I'd rather play Timo Werner over him right now.
Wow, really?
Yeah. And he was Timo Werner, another expensive signing who's kind of been disappointing.
Yeah. he doesn't even play this.
But he is younger. Yeah, he doesn't have as many chances as Lukaku to play.
Yeah.
Lukaku, I think in the first half he had 2 touches against did they play Crystal Palace?
Yeah.
He had 2 touches the whole game.
Jeez.
And one of the touches was kicking the ball from the first kick of the game. So he doesn't get involved.
No.
Like a player like Harry Kane, you'll see him come back into the play and help defensively.
That's right.
Because Spurs need that help.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, right now Lukaku is probably the most disappointing player of the whole year.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Take me to your strikers.
Okay, so my 2 strikers, I'd put Diego Jota. He's kind of fallen off a little bit just because Luis Diaz has kind of been in and out his spot.
Yeah.
So I'm not hoping, I guess, but I like watching him play. To be honest, he killed Arsenal when we played them.
Yeah, he always does.
He does that to many teams. But right now, my 2 are Diego Jota and Dennis from Watford.
Okay.
Because he's just been really underrated. I feel like the strikers are very open this year.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't classify Salah as a striker, so I'd put him as a right wing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put Jota and Dennis.
Okay. I'm going to have to go and take Jota. I feel like there's a chance he starts to, decline in time and in style of play and everything because, listen, he did really well while Salah was gone. He really carried the team, and he's the reason why they're 1 game and, 6 points short of City. So I really think, hats off to that guy. And he is, I just have the goal scorers right here. He is actually the second. He has 3 more goals than Dennis.
Right.
And he's the second in the league, only behind Mohamed Salah. So,
right.
I'm going to have to go Jota.
Yeah. Who's your second guy? Or are you just doing the one?
Yeah, I'll just pick the one, but or sorry, you mean for me to choose for you?
Yeah. I maybe you're doing like a 4-3-3.
Yeah, so I did a 4-4-2. So
okay, yeah.
I'm going to finish off and ask you Saint Maximin or Cavani. Which is probably the most random pairing I could find, but
Cavani's been forgotten. I kind of like watching him play.
Yeah.
He
just doesn't get playtime now that Ronaldo's there.
Yeah, even like Rashford doesn't even get play. Like we haven't even mentioned his name.
No.
Maybe like 2 seasons ago he would be up for left or right mid player of the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cavani, I'd take Saint Maximin. I feel like he offers more creativity.
Yeah.
But I feel like Saint Maximin is better on the wing. I think he's better cutting in, and
he's so quick too. And Cavani's just a finisher.
Cavani's a poacher, which is not a bad thing.
No.
You need those on your team. I'd love to have one on Arsenal. I'm sure you'd love Ronaldo to play better when he's poaching.
Yeah.
Because he missed an open sitter today.
Yeah, from 3 feet away.
Yeah, he kicked it right at the goalie. So that's something. Would Cavani have scored that? Probably.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think I'd go.
I'd love to see Cavani move out of United because I just want to watch him play.
Yeah.
Because he's just not going to play.
Yeah. It's a shame.
Yeah. So yeah, Saint Maximin for me, but he's kind of more of a winger for me. But if you had to play up front, I would play Saint Maximin.
Okay. Yeah, I'm cool with that then.
Yeah, so I guess that's our best 11. So do you want to go through and name your just 11 best players from your team you chose?
Yeah, so this is from the team. This isn't season. This isn't the best because obviously I didn't name Salah and I didn't name Ronaldo or anything. But for goalkeeper, I'm going to have to go Alisson. For left back, I'm going to go Telles. For center back, I'm going to go Rudiger. For center back, I'm going to go Maguire, Norwich. I don't know. Maguire is just such a disappointment. Right back, I'm going to probably go... maybe Wan-Bissaka. Left mid, I'm going to go Son. Center mid, I'm going to go Pogba. Center mid, I'm going to go Rice. Right mid, I'm going to go Saka. Striker, I'm going to go Kane. And striker, I'm going to go St. Maximin.
Okay, so that's kind of your creative 11.
Yeah. Just players that I thought could match up well against the others.
Right, yeah. So that's a good 11. I just kind of chose like a best 11 so far.
Okay.
So all the players we talked about. So I took De Gea one, but that could be Ramsdale as well. And then Ben White and Rudiger, Cancelo on the left and Trent on the right. But maybe Tomiyasu. I'll throw in Tomiyasu. Screw it. I think Tomiyasu definitely better defensively.
Okay.
And left mid, Smith Rowe. Center mid, Gallagher and Declan Rice.
Okay.
Right mid, I'm going to take Saka because Salah's too boring of a choice. And my strikers are going to be Jota and Dennis.
All right.
Which is, I'm hoping Dennis gets changed teams in the summer because Watford's going to be going down.
Yeah.
Probably. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Yep, those are our starting 11s that we mentioned today. We are going to be following up this video soon with an NHL version where we name other players and rank them in their position. Yep. Thanks, guys, and we hope to see you soon.
See you soon, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe.